What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a weekly reset preview for Destiny 2, of course the first reset of 2025 right here, and it's the launch of Act 3 for Revenant. So that means this week we get another update for Destiny 2, the last one that we'll see for this particular episode, and we're only a month away from the next episode dropping. But of course this week we get a new exotic mission for starters, so we'll be able to pick up the Slayer's Fang exotic shotgun. Plus there are a couple of other weapons being introduced, some artifact mods, and a handful of updates. So we'll discuss everything related to Act 3 in the video, but also we have the rest of the weekly reset, all of the featured activities and rewards. That includes farmable exotics, the Nightfall stuff, and some additional updates from Bungie. Plus, it would appear Destiny 1 got an automatic update after a handful of years. Of course, that doesn't affect the content this week, but I thought it was worth a quick mention, so we'll touch on that at the start of the video. Otherwise, guys, if you enjoyed this one, get subscribed to the channel, and I'll keep you posted with all of the content in the next few weeks. But otherwise, let's get into it. And first up, a quick mention right here. Players have noticed in the past couple of days that the Destiny 1 tower appears to have been updated, and of course, this is the first time this has happened in many years since Destiny 2 came out. And basically, the Dawning has gone live in Destiny 1. All of the seasonal events haven't been taking place since Destiny 2 came out, but players have noticed that the tower became decorated. It would appear this is an old piece of development for Destiny 1 that actually never released. There was an event in January of 2016, which Bungie referred to as Days of Dawning, and it was basically going to be a New Year's version of the Dawning itself, but for whatever reason, it didn't actually release in the game. It did have a few updated visuals for the tower and some other items, but was essentially cancelled, and we just got the normal Dawning during December. But perhaps Bungie set a date far in the future for this to activate so that they could manually activate it if they decided to publish it. I don't know how it works, but it's essentially resulted in the Dawning, or parts of the Dawning, going live automatically many years later on inside of Destiny 1. So that's why you're seeing a lot of discussion about the D1 tower being updated. Otherwise, I don't really think it means anything necessarily. Some folks are saying, could this mean that it's going to get a remaster or something? I guess it could be a teaser, but I wouldn't really hold our breath at this point. I'd probably say it is accidental / forgotten about and just happens to have gone live at this point in time. But give us your thoughts about it down below. Otherwise, let's get into the content for this week. And of course, Act 3 is going live. So initially, when we get Act 3 on Tuesday, I'd imagine there'll be some new quest steps for Ido. So we'll have the continuation and the completion, I suppose, of the Revenant story. On top of that, though, we're going to get a new exotic quest, and that will probably require some completion of those story components. But the exotic mission will take us into the Slayer-inspired fortress, where we'll be able to work towards picking up the Slayer's Fang exotic shotgun. Now, we've spoken about this shotgun a few times. I'll link a video down below if you want all the details related to the weapon itself. But after we initially pick it up, there will be subsequent weeks of catalyst upgrades available for it. So that's something that will be able to keep us logging into the game at least once a week for the next month. And outside of the exotic, there are some new artifact mods which will be coming. Bungie haven't outlined them just yet. At the time this video goes live, it's possible they'll do that just a few hours before the act of the episode actually starts. And otherwise, there are a couple of new weapons, including the Heretic rocket launcher and the Red Tape scout rifle, which are both stasis weapons. Again, I've previewed those, so I'll link relevant videos down below, but let us know if you'll be diving back in at least to pick up the new exotic down in the comment section. And of course, I'll keep you posted on all of that stuff on Tuesday. We will get some new challenges though with Act 3 going live. So there's Fortress 1 to complete Part 1 of Act 3, the Kell of Kells. There's also Fortress 2 to complete Part 2 as a challenge this week. And then we have Europa activities to earn progress by completing bounties, patrols, public events, and lost sectors on Europa. Additionally, there's Last Rites to get ability final blows in Crucible, Gambit, or Vanguard, and we get bonus progress for Guardian final blows. Then Dark Shadows to defeat Scorn with void damage in Gambit or Vanguard Ops activities, and Darkest Nightfall to complete any Nightfall on advanced difficulty or higher. That will grant an additional Nightfall weapon. It won't be an adept one, presumably, but on top of these challenges, there are a couple of additional ones hidden as we head into the first week of Act 3, probably related to the exotic missions. So we'll see those once we get to reset either way. Outside of the Act 3 stuff, keep in mind we'll see a refresh for the Pale Heart, specifically the co-op missions, but also we'll get a refresh for Salvation's Edge and Excision and all of the pinnacle drops associated with those. Then over to the Vanguard, the Nightfall this week should be the Corrupted. We've seen a few changes to the rotation, so that could affect this, but otherwise Corrupted is what it's meant to be, and the Nightfall weapon should be Plug 1. Then we've got the featured raids. Initially, we'll have Garden of Salvation up for grabs, so if you need to farm out any of the legendary stuff, that is entirely farmable this week. And in the Legends tab, we'll also have King's Fall featured, where we can additionally get Touch of Malice, which is also farmable. But back to the moon, Pit of Heresy dungeon will also be featured. And finally, we'll see Spire of the Watcher on Throne World featured as well. And there, we can get the Hierarchy of Needs. Once again, those are totally farmable with no lockouts on encounters, so good luck if you are hunting anything down. But the exotic mission in the Legends tab this week should be Operation Seraph Shield, where we can pick up the Dead Man's Tail and all of its upgrades, so a good one to go after if you still need it. And finally, to Eternity, on top of the core dares drops this week, we'll get Scatterhorn and Perfectus armor set pieces, as well as a bunch of weapons from Season of the Worthy and Chosen as additional random drops. Then for the featured Lost Sectors this week, firstly for Tuesday, we'll have K1 Revelation on the Moon. January 8th will be Bay of Drowned Wishes in the Dreaming City, and then the 9th will be Chamber of Starlight in Dreaming City, before moving over to the EDZ on January 10th with the Quarry, and Excavation Site on January 11th. Finally though, we'll have Pale Heart Lost Sectors. For January 12th it'll be the Broken Deep in the Pale Heart, and January 13th we'll see the Blooming Deep. And of course there are world drops, as well as chances at exotic engrams on solo completions from those. Very finally though, over in the Dreaming City right here, the Ascendant Challenge this week will be Forfeit Shrine, which can be found via the Garden of Isilla. So pretty easy to find, but if you want the location, I'll run some gameplay at the end of the video. For today guys, that is what we have to speak about in this one though. So as always, I hope you found this one useful, and if you have, a rating down below really does help us on the channel. Also be sure to get subscribed and I'll keep you posted with more Destiny content. But otherwise, I appreciate you tuning in today. Let us know if you'll be diving in for the new exotic mission. But for now, I hope you guys have an awesome day.
Guardian down.